I found a dozen dead flies in my coffee every morning. My wife smirked. Guess even the bugs think you're trash. She laughed with her friends while I gagged, but I said nothing. Then I installed a hidden camera. What I saw made me pack my bags in silence. That was 6 weeks ago. This morning she was banging on my door, crying, "Please just talk to me." I used to think betrayal would come loud like a slammed door or a shouted confession. But in my house it came quiet. Whispered. Like tiny, soft lies that stacked up until they formed a tomb. I still remember the first morning. I was running late for work, barely awake, dragging my sleep-deprived body into the kitchen when I saw them, 6 little black dots floating on the surface of my coffee. Dead flies. I gagged, dumped the mug, and chalked it up to an open window. I'm an HVAC tech. My mornings are early, and my wife, Lila, rarely gets up with me. She's a freelance interior designer, works from home, sleeps in. Most mornings I'm alone in that dim kitchen, sipping bitter coffee under the flicker of a dying light bulb. I fixed it 3 times. Still flickers. Just like her lies. By the 3rd morning of bugs in my mug, I got paranoid. Checked the windows, the pantry. Sealed the sugar. Even asked Lila if she noticed anything weird. She smirked. Maybe the bugs are just attracted to low-value men, she said, sipping her espresso with that perfect manicure she never used to have before she got her new clients. I tried to laugh it off. But it wasn't just the bugs. Lila had changed. Not overnight, more like a long fade-out, the way music trails off when you fall asleep in the car. She used to kiss me goodnight. Ask about my day. Now she barely looked up from her phone. Her texts got shorter. Her voice sharper. The real shift started when she joined this design group, some local network of women creatives. Every Thursday night, they met at her friend Nadine's condo. Wine and vibes, she'd call it. I never asked questions. Trusted her. That was my first mistake. Because slowly, the house started turning against me. She swapped out our couch. Said the old one smelled like man. Bought these abstract wall prints that made our living room feel like a dentist's waiting room. Replaced my favorite coffee mugs with these pastel ones that said things like "Hustle Mama" and "Good Vibes Only." Even my clothes started disappearing. Favorite hoodie? Gone. The one she used to steal when we watched movies. Now she said it made me look like someone who'd loiter outside a vape shop. Then came the guests. Nadine. Taylor. Some guy named Marcus who was just there to help install shelving. They'd laugh in the kitchen late at night, sipping wine, talking loud enough for me to hear, never loud enough to call out directly. You still let him make the coffee? I heard once. Oh please, it's hilarious. He thinks the flies are random, Lila said, giggling. My spine went cold. I didn't confront her. I didn't yell. I just started listening more carefully. The bugs in the mug became a ritual. Every morning, a fresh handful of corpses floating in my brew. Always mine, never hers. She'd smirk as I choked it down, sometimes blowing me a kiss with the back of her hand. The day I installed the camera was the day she told me I was getting soft. We were in bed. She rolled away from me and said it like a sigh. Like she didn't mean to say it, but couldn't stop herself. You're just not a real man anymore. I miss how you used to be. I stared at the ceiling all night. Next morning, I bought a tiny hidden cam from a hardware store, one of those ones disguised as a phone charger. I planted it on the kitchen counter, angled toward the coffee pot. Just in case. That night, I watched the footage in my truck. She waited until I was in the shower. Walked to the coffee pot in her robe, humming. Reached into a small Ziploc bag hidden in the spice cabinet. Pulled out a handful of dead flies. Sprinkled them in my mug like sugar. Laughed to herself. Whispered, "Bon appetit, loser." Then she took a selfie with it. I stared at the screen, numb. You ever feel your body detach? Like your arms don't belong to you? Like your own heartbeat becomes background noise? I sat in that truck for hours, engine off, watching her smile into the lens. Not for anyone else. Just for herself. That was the moment I left. No confrontation. No speech. I walked back in, grabbed my go bag, took my boots, wallet, tools, left everything else. She didn't even notice me go. 6 weeks. No calls. No messages. Just silence. Until this morning. Bang bang bang. She was at my apartment door, in pajamas and slippers, crying. Please. Please just talk to me. I didn't open it. Not yet. Because what she doesn't know is I know more than just the flies. I know about Marcus. I know about the group chat. I know about Operation Drain Him. The little joke they ran where they kept track of ways to demoralize me without technically cheating. I know about the burner account where she posted videos of me sleeping and called me the man-child I pay rent for. She didn't pay rent. I paid every bill in that house. And now I've got the receipts. But I'm not looking for revenge. I'm looking for the right moment. And when it comes, she'll wish the flies were the worst thing I ever saw. Date 1. I didn't open the door. Not that morning. Not while she stood there crying, half sobbing, half whispering my name like I was a ghost she didn't expect to still haunt the earth. I watched her through the peephole. She looked like hell, which was funny, considering that 6 weeks ago she was glowing. New clothes, fresh nails, better skincare than I'd ever seen her use in our entire marriage. I thought she was just evolving. Turns out she was prepping for the single life. Now she stood outside in my hallway, mascara streaking down her cheeks, wearing the t-shirt she once swore she'd only wear if every other fabric on earth caught fire. It was mine. College logo. Faded. Costume, maybe. Playing the part of the regretful wife. I waited until she left. 42 minutes. She sat on the floor for most of it, back against my door, whispering please to nobody. I didn't move. I'm not a man who moves without a plan anymore. Here's what happened after I left. I didn't just vanish. I went to my brother Drew's place 2 towns over. He's one of those people who always smells like sawdust and coffee. Sturdy, predictable. We hadn't talked in years. Not after Lila said he gave her the creeps and didn't want him over anymore. Funny thing, though, the moment I told him I left her, he didn't ask why. He just nodded, cleared off the couch and said, "You want beer or bourbon?" I stayed with him for 5 days. Long enough to dig. Because it wasn't just the flies. The camera caught more than I ever imagined. Nadine, her best friend, the one who hosted the creative nights, she wasn't just her friend. She was her coach. Like a Mean Girls Yoda. On one of the clips, Lila's voice is clear. "I need to knock him down a peg." Nadine says guys get more loyal when they feel lucky you're still with them. Another night, she FaceTimed Taylor. "This morning he looked at me like he was gonna cry over the coffee again," she said, laughing. "You think if I throw in a roach he'll finally snap?" They laughed for a full minute. Then she added, "Honestly, it's kinda hot, breaking someone down like this." I copied the videos. Every one of them. Backed them up in triplicate. Flash drive. Cloud. Encrypted folder named DIY taxes. Then I checked our joint accounts. She'd siphoned $8,300 into a separate account over the last 6 months. Always small withdrawals. Errands. Petty cash. Brunch. I don't eat brunch. I pack turkey sandwiches and drive a beat-up Chevy. The best part? She was sending the money to someone named Marsden Group Consulting. No such business exists. I found the PayPal receipts, the Venmo trail, and finally the memo that gave it away. Reimbursement for shelf install, Marcus. Marcus, the man who came to help with shelving. He helped her all right. I went cold, but I didn't rage. I didn't break anything. Instead, I went to work. First, I pulled half our savings. Legally, it was a joint account. She noticed, tried to call. I didn't answer. Next, I contacted a friend of Drew's, a quiet guy who used to work in cyber forensics. He helped me access the shared iCloud account Lila never remembered to log out of. Emails, notes, photo backups. And then, I found the group chat. It was called Queen Things Nail Polish Blackheart. 9 women, all part of the Thursday night creative group. The tone? Straight up psychological warfare. There were threads titled, Gaslight Goals, How to Reinvent Your Man, or Replace Him. Petty Level, Olympian. One post from Lila said, "This is week 3 of the fly test. He's still drinking it. Honestly, it's becoming performance art." Another, from Nadine, "Have you tried fake crying yet? Sometimes that triggers the protective instinct. He might offer you a raise." They treated emotional abuse like a team sport. Then I found the files. Spreadsheets. A literal spreadsheet titled Exit Plan Q1. Dates. Financial estimates. Psychological markers. Gaslight progress percentages. I'm not joking. She had a plan to leave me by April. Move in with Marcus. Take half the house equity. Claim emotional trauma, and keep the dog Baxter. Our dog. The one she forgot to feed unless I reminded her. The one who whined at the door for me for a week after I left. And then the cherry on top. A saved draft in her notes app. A long-winded, crocodile-teared Facebook post titled, Leaving Toxicity, My Journey to Self-Freedom. She'd already tagged me as former partner. It wasn't even posted yet. Just waiting. She wasn't just sabotaging me. She was crafting her origin story. So I made a choice. No confrontation. No lawyer letters. No warning. I started planning my counterstory. First, I consulted my job's HR and asked about early vacation leave. Told them it was a family emergency, no questions asked. They gave me 2 weeks. Then I met with a real lawyer. Showed him the documents, the recordings, the spreadsheet. He blinked twice, leaned forward, and said, "Son, she's not just cruel. She's methodical. This could qualify as systematic manipulation." I filed for separation through my own attorney. Quietly. Used a mailing address at Drew's place. Then, with the lawyer's help, I froze the remaining joint funds and filed a request to remove her from our shared mortgage. I was done being her doormat. But I wasn't done watching. Back in town, I got my own place. Rented under a friend's name. Paid cash. Kept a low profile. Meanwhile, Lila's posts started shifting. Her feed went dark for a week, then reappeared with a new vibe, soft lighting, candles, captions like, "Rebuilding from pain. One step at a time. Hashtag healing girl, hashtag soft life." She was prepping the public for her victim arc. That's when I sent an anonymous email to two people. Marcus's employer, a boutique real estate firm. Marcus's girlfriend, whose info I found via a tagged bachelorette photo. Subject line, "You deserve the full picture." Included? Screenshots. Videos. The spreadsheet. The group chat. Her planned breakup post. A timeline of all her manipulations. Then I waited. The fallout started 3 days later. Marcus got fired. His girlfriend dumped him in a spectacular Instagram story featuring screenshots and a Taylor Swift soundtrack. Lila posted a vague story about betrayal from unexpected places. 2 days after that, I heard from Drew. "She came by looking for you," he said. "Said she just wants to talk. Asked if you were seeing someone." I wasn't, but I didn't correct her. Let her wonder. Now we're here. This morning. She came to my door. And what she doesn't know. I already drafted my own story. It starts with a spreadsheet. Ends with peace. And if she knocks again, I might just answer. But it won't be the man she broke. It'll be the one she tried to bury. And couldn't. Update 2. I opened the door. Not because I forgave her. Not because I missed her. Not because some part of me wanted to believe she could still be the woman I married. I opened it because I needed to see her face when the world she'd built started crumbling beneath her. And God, it was worth it. She looked small. Swollen eyes, red nose, sleeves covering her hands like a kid who'd lost her mom in a mall. Her lips quivered like she was gearing up for the performance of a lifetime. She said my name like a lifeline. "Can I come in?" she whispered. I didn't answer. Just stepped aside. She stood in my living room like she'd forgotten how furniture worked. Her eyes scanned the space, no clutter, no chaos, no trace of the man she used to walk all over. I kept it clean. Spartan. Unemotional. She noticed. "This doesn't feel like you," she said, voice barely above a murmur. I leaned against the counter. "Maybe you didn't know me as well as you thought." Silence stretched. She looked like she was about to speak, but I beat her to it. "You here to confess? Or just rehearse the next lie?" Her eyes welled up. That used to get me. Used to make me fold, apologize, hug her like I was the villain. Not anymore. She started. "Everything's falling apart." I didn't expect it wasn't supposed to get this bad. I laughed. Actually laughed. "You mean you didn't expect the flies, the gaslighting, the group chat, the fake receipts, the spreadsheet titled Exit Plan, Q1 to backfire?" She went pale. "You read it," she whispered. "All of it," I said. "You're not just cruel, Lila. You're meticulous. Weaponized charm. Industrial strength ego." Her mask cracked. For the first time I saw something new, fear. Not sadness. Not guilt. Just raw fear. "I lost everything," she said. "Marcus is gone. His girlfriend leaked our messages to his boss. My clients dropped me. Nadine blocked me. My accounts got flagged for harassment." I nodded. "Yeah, I know. That was me." She blinked. "I didn't post the receipts," I said. "Didn't need to. Just shared them discreetly. Gave people the tools. Let them do what they wanted with it." Her lip trembled. "You ruined me," she said, voice shaking. "No," I said. "You did that. I just stopped hiding the blueprints." Then she tried it. The tactic. The switch. Her eyes softened. Shoulders slumped. Voice dropped an octave. "Can we just talk? Please? You weren't perfect either. You stopped trying. You got so boring. You just faded." I said nothing. She stepped closer. "I didn't want to hurt you. I was just so unhappy. You never saw me anymore. You never heard me." That part was almost true. I hadn't seen her. Not clearly. Not until it was too late. "You drained me dry, one day at a time," I said. "You wore me down with 1,000 little digs and smug looks over breakfast bars. And you found it funny." She opened her mouth. I didn't let her speak. I walked to the table. Picked up a folder. Placed it in front of her. "What's this?" "An itemized invoice," I said. "Everything I spent the last 3 years. Rent. Utilities. Groceries. Vacations. Vet bills. Gifts." She flipped through it. "You're charging me?" "No," I said. "I'm showing you. Because every cent you spent on me, I outmatched it 3 times over. You didn't support me. You leeched off me." She went silent. Then I dropped the other folder. "What's that?" she asked, more wary now. "Signed separation papers. I filed weeks ago. You're officially served." She didn't cry this time. Didn't scream. Just stared like she was watching a window close on a life she didn't know was ending. Then her phone buzzed. She flinched. Didn't pick it up. I saw the name. Marcus, new number. I smiled. "You want to take that?" I said. "Maybe he's got a new shelf that needs screwing." She didn't laugh. Didn't move. Just stood there. And then she said something that still echoes in my head. "You're different now. Colder. Cruel." I shrugged. "You taught me." She left without another word. Slid the papers into her bag like a report card she didn't want to show her parents. The door clicked behind her. And I just stood there. Not smiling. Not gloating. Just breathing. Then my phone buzzed. It was Juliana, one of her old friends. The quiet one who used to sit in the corner during the wine nights and smile politely while they tore into me. Her message was one line. She's spiraling. Nadine's threatening to sue her. Taylor's deleting everything. The group chat got leaked. Attached was a screenshot. Someone had posted the full Queen Things nail polish black heart chat log to Reddit. Tagged as feminine energy or narcissistic cult. Top comment, this is weaponized emotional abuse dressed in aromatherapy candles and Canva fonts. Thousands of upvotes. I didn't post it. I swear. Someone else, maybe one of the other husbands. Maybe a pissed off friend. Doesn't matter. The internet was doing its job now. By the end of the day, Lila's business website was down. Her Instagram deactivated. Her Yelp page flooded with reviews from fake clients she bragged about in the group chat. She messaged me once that night. Why are you doing this to me? I didn't reply. Because I wasn't. The only thing I did was finally tell the truth. To myself. To the people she fooled. And now? Now I'm free. Not just legally. Mentally. Emotionally. And next? That's the part she never expected. I'm not just leaving her. I'm replacing her. With something honest. With someone who knows what love isn't. But that's a story for Update 3. And trust me. She won't survive the sequel. Update 3. It didn't end the way I expected. I thought it would feel like slamming a door. Like cutting a wire. Like flipping the breaker on everything we ever were. But it didn't. It felt surgical. Precise. Clean. The moment the group chat hit Reddit, everything accelerated. Lila didn't just lose her clients, she became an urban legend. The Fly Wife. That's what they started calling her in the comments. There were memes. Reaction videos. Stitch clips of her healing posts layered with screenshots of the Fly videos and her whispering, bon appetit, loser. I didn't post those videos, but I'd sent them. Quietly. One to Marcus's girlfriend. One to Juliana. One to a subreddit moderator who reached out anonymously and said, I believe you. And they did the rest. What nobody knew, what Lila didn't know, was that I'd saved the best one for last. A 10-minute supercut I titled The Experiment. Every fly drop. Every whispered insult. Every chuckle as she watched me sip and swallow and blink through the sting. Set to classical music. Slow fades. Subtitles. I uploaded it to a private link. Sent it only to one person. Her mother. Now before you come at me, hear me out. Lila's mom, Diane, was old school proper. Wore pearls to brunch. Sent Christmas cards with family newsletters. Thought I was such a stable presence when we got married. We hadn't spoken in almost a year. That night, I got a call from a blocked number. I answered. Silence. Then, I'm ashamed of her. I'm so sorry. If I had any idea. I didn't speak. Just listened. She's coming here. She has nowhere else. I won't be soft with her. Click. I never heard from Diane again. But I heard what happened next. Juliana filled me in. Apparently, Diane sat her daughter down in the kitchen, played the video full screen on the TV while Lila sobbed into a throw pillow. No escape. No explanation. Just her own cruelty reflected back at full volume. Her mom made her leave that night. Told her she'd raised a monster. Lila ended up couch hopping for a few days, then landed at a friend's Airbnb rental that wasn't supposed to have tenants. She DM'd me once more. One sentence. I didn't know it would go this far. I didn't respond. Instead, I focused on rebuilding. Which weirdly came fast. Not because I rushed into someone new though, yeah, there's someone now. We'll get to her. But because the silence felt clean. I could breathe again. The first morning I made coffee alone in my new apartment. No flies, no smirks, no psychological minefield. I actually cried. Yeah, I'll admit that. Because peace after war feels alien. Feels like you forgot what stillness was. But she wasn't done. One last twist. 2 weeks ago, I got a letter. Handwritten. Sloppy. She was contesting the separation agreement. Said I'd damaged her public image. Said I'd caused emotional distress by weaponizing private footage. She wanted half the house. The house I bought before we were married. The house she decorated like a Pinterest prison. The one I had proof she tried to devalue in group chat screenshots. She wanted it all. So I called my lawyer. Then I called her bluff. I filed for a full divorce. Attached everything. Videos. Messages. Financial abuse breakdowns. Timeline. Psychological manipulation pattern. Labeled the flies as evidence of long-term psychological pressure. The judge didn't even blink. Her motion? Denied. Her claim? Rejected. Her leverage? Gone. I kept everything. She got nothing. Except a name trending under a tag she didn't create. Fly Wife. She deleted her accounts that night. Moved out of state. I haven't seen her since. And me? Let's talk about me. Because if you think the story is just about her, you've missed the point. 6 months ago, I was a man sipping bug-laced coffee in a house full of lies. Yeah? I'm living in a small second-floor apartment with clean light, second-hand furniture, and a dog who finally stopped waiting at the door. And yeah, there's someone. Her name's Erin. We met at a bookstore. No, really. Like something out of a bad rom-com. She worked there part-time. Recommended a copy of The Body Keeps the Score when she saw me staring at the self-help aisle like it owed me rent money. We talked. She had no idea who Lila was. No Reddit, no TikTok. Just books and soft sweaters and the kind of laugh that makes you feel human again. I told her everything. She didn't flinch. Didn't pity me. Just listened. Then she said that wasn't love. That was training. And it hit me. She was right. Lila didn't love me. She trained me. Trained me to be quiet. To accept less. To swallow pain like it was breakfast. But I'm not that man anymore. I'm the man who made it out. I'm the man who turned flies into fire. I'm the man who watched the woman who tried to break him break herself instead. And no, I don't feel sorry for her. Not even a little. Because some people don't need your mercy. They need your absence. They need to sit in the silence they tried to drown you in and realize you're never coming back. Not to beg. Not to forgive. Not even to gloat. You just vanish. Like a ghost with receipts. And when the echo finally hits, it sounds like a door slamming. Not theirs. Yours. Forever.